Welcome back to another episode of this Manchester United Save, where we have made signings for the start of Season 3. I forgot to show you how much profit we made from last season. So we made £547 million in profit. So we'll get 40% of that for finishing in the top 4, plus an extra 5% for winning the FA Cup. So 45% of 547 million is 246.15 million. So we've got quite a big transfer budget. I have signed players. I've signed 4 new players. And I think with this squad now, potentially we could go and do the quadruple this season. In our final season with Manchester United, I think we can go and win everything. So players I have signed. Some of you might like it, some of you probably won't, but I think it's realistic. So, signing number 1, you'll see on the right wing, I went and bought Kubo from Real Sociedad for 78 million. So quite a lot of money for Kubo, but I think it's going to be worth it to have that left footer on that right hand side. I've also gone and bought Guy from Crystal Palace because he was running out of contract this season. He was complacent and looked like he wasn't going to sign a new contract with Crystal Palace. So I thought if I could get him for a bargain price, I'll do it. And I did get him for a bargain price, I think. I bought him for 38.6 million, which I think is a bargain. Considering he was out of contract as well at the end of this season, I think that was a good buy. Also, you'll see on the bench, I've got another left-footed winger in Adeyemi. Another player running out of contract at the end of this season. Again, complacent. Didn't look like he was going to be signing a new contract. So I went in with a low offer to Dortmund for him. And I bought him for 36 million, which again, I think is a bargain. So there's a 4th player, which probably a lot of you won't like. Or you might like, I don't know. But I've bought this player back to Manchester United. It's David De Gea. I've brought David De Gea back to Manchester United. I've made him promises that he will be starting every FA Cup game. He'll be starting every Carabao Cup game. He'll get a couple of games in the Champions League until we make it to the knockout stages. Then I'll go with my first choice goalkeeper, which will be Onana. He was happy with that. He took the rotation contract, and David De Gea, at the age of 35, is coming back to Manchester United. And I think now, with this squad, I think we could do the quadruple. There is a strong possibility with this squad we could do the quadruple. I may start Garnacho over Rashford. But for now, I'll leave Garnacho on the bench. Maguire will also be sold along with Ahmad. As I'm pretty sure they're not going to be happy sitting in the reserves. And it'll be nice to free up those wages as well, because I don't want to be paying them a massive amount of money to be in the reserves. So with them gone, I do have a youth player here, Berry, who was out on loan last season. Come back, 71 rated now at 18 years of age. Looks like he's going to be a decent player. I'll try and give him some game time as well this season, along with Strasser, 19 years of age, 73 rated, CDM. So again, a player we could try and use maybe in the Carabao Cup. But the bench looks strong, very strong, and so does our starting 11. Real Madrid still haven't come in for any of our players at all, which is very surprising. But we are still in the summer transfer window. So by the end of this episode, we could have some more signings coming in. But we'll have to wait and see if Real Madrid come in for one of our players. Like I said, this is going to be our final season with Manchester United. So I have a remaining transfer budget of 89.05 million. And if, say, Real Madrid come in for Bruno now and offer me 100 mil, I'll add that 100 mil onto this, what's remaining, now or in January, for me to sign a replacement straight away, because I don't want to be without any star players. But in today's episode, we will be starting off with a FA Community Shield against Liverpool. I'm going to sim the first game of the season against Southampton, play Manchester City, and then end the episode by playing Everton. Hopefully, the simmed games don't screw us over. But if last season was anything to go by, they will screw us over. But hopefully, this season will be different. I think that is all I need to show you. Maybe I'll show you the history, the transfer history. There you can see it, 78 million for Kubo, Guy 38.6 million, 36 for Adeyemi, 4.5 million for De Gea, so not a lot really considering he's a world-class player. Some youth players going out on loan as well, you can see there. No one's been sold yet. But like I said, Ahmad and Maguire will hopefully be sold. And again, I'll add their transfer fees onto the remaining of this transfer budget that I've got. So yeah, Liverpool up next for us. Can we add the Community Shield to our trophy cabinet? I really hope so. That's going to be our starting lineup. I don't need to make any changes to the bench either. Let's go into this first game against Liverpool.
Yeah, it's a 4-5-1, but it will morph into a 4-2-3-1. The single centre forward will be
lovely
by the number 10, and you'd expect them to rotate and swap positions just to try and drag defenders out. The wide midfielders, they'll
cut this back. Bruno come in short. We'll get this into Mainu, who's gone for goal. It was a good effort. Trying to score another goal to go with that FA Cup final goal that he got last season. Goalkeeper's hoofed it.
Careless in possession. Promising looking attack from United.
Wow, go with your right foot, Rashford. That was such good play from Kubo, from Højlund. Rashford making a cracking run, and he's gone and toe poked it. It's into De Ligt. Kubo can't get up.
More defensive. And the defender left behind. That's good defending. Well won.
Offside. Oh, Rodrigo was onside. And they've got themselves a corner just before half-time. Liverpool playing so well. We're yet to click. But it will come, I'm sure. As they've whipped this ball in. De Ligt gets that away. Only as far as a Liverpool player. Can we not concede before half-time? That would be great. Beautiful from Undogi. And that will be half-time, and we are all square. 0-0. See Rashford making a cracking run. We managed to find him. Come back in. Find Højlund. Takes a touch. Think it might be time for Xerxes very, very soon.
Ball changes hands. Promising looking ball. This looks really good.
Go on, bully him.
Winning goal.
But it's across the face, a goal to Xerxes. The two substitutes linking up to put us in the lead. Xerxes saying, start me. He's going to be knocking at my door tonight, I'm sure. He wants to start every game now. Garnacho did fantastic to win the ball back off Trent there. Put it straight across the face of goal for Xerxes there for a tap-in. Straight at the goalkeeper, and he dived out of the way. We're beating Liverpool 1-0 with us approaching full-time. Can we hold on? Liverpool have been by far the better team, running that midfield. That's why I've made some changes. Ugarte and Ferguson have come on in that midfield, just to try and break up the play a little bit. Should be able to get this away. To find Kubo. Dallo. Oh, trying to pull it through to Kubo. And it's gone out. It's time. We'll give Adeyemi some game time. And rest Kubo for a little bit. So Adeyemi, we're going to get Mazraoui on as well. For Dallo. And that'll be all of our changes made. Oh, they've taken it quick. No time for the substitutes.
Liverpool exploiting the space on the flank.
Get that away.
Ready for what was coming.
Into Kubo. Bit of space for Ferguson. We'll get that back to Kubo, who loses out to Tsimikas. And Ferguson puts that ball out for the substitutes to come on in the final seconds of the game. Can we hold on?
Diaz. Now there might be a chance to level things. And that's it, the final whistle.
FA Community Shield, tick. We'll add that to the FA Cup. I know it's only the Community Shield, but we'll take it. And it was that man Xerxes who got the goal to put us in the lead.
It's a victory cue as the players head up to collect their winners' medals.
Well, it's a trophy, isn't it? And as players, you want to win
It's a trophy.
everything that you're competing for. Look at the smiles on their faces.
First trophy for our new arrivals.
Going up to be greeted by teammates and then hands on the cup.
We'll take it. We've beaten Liverpool 1-0. And in the first game of this Premier League season, we are playing Southampton and we are going to sim it. Like I said, hopefully the simmed games don't ruin us. But I'm not going to change anything. That's going to be our starting lineup. Straight in with a quick sim. And a 4-1 win. That's exactly what we want to see. 2 goals from Bruno Fernandes and a goal from Mainu. And also another goal from Højlund. As we beat Southampton 4-1. And next up for us is our game against Manchester City. But before we go into that game, Ahmad has been sold for 20.7 million. And the board have given us 17.5. So we'll add that onto our remaining transfer budget. Also, Bayindir has also been sold for 6.5 million. And the board have given us an extra 5 million. So again, that will they both will be added on to our remaining transfer budget to either buy more players at the end of this transfer window or in January if we need to. But Manchester City, next up for us, it looks like... Oh no, they did win their first game as well. It'd be nice to beat them. Or we've got to beat them. If we want to win the league this season, we are going to have to beat them. Do I drop Højlund for Xerxes? No. We're going to keep Højlund up top. Try and use Xerxes off the bench. That's going to be our starting lineup. let's go into this game against Manchester City.
Now Haaland. Grealish. Determined defending. If you're wondering about stoppage time, 1 minute.
Nah, the ball in behind for Højlund wasn't great. And it's not been a great first half. Manchester City have controlled it, but then they haven't done a lot either. We were caught offside with Kubo. That was probably our best chance. But not a great first half as we go in level. 0-0.
Well, they might be able to launch a counter-attack.
Never. You're not beating Onana from there.
Two good teams in a great stadium. I'm really looking forward to that one.
City move it forward with purpose.
You're not beating Onana from there.
10 minutes to go.
10 minutes. We need to make something happen here. But Manchester City are just too good.
So it will be their throw-in. A change in the offing for City.
Gonna go straight in behind with Xerxes making that good run, but Top Sober is matching Xerxes for pace. João Neves at Manchester City now. He's left PSG pretty quick.
Gvardiol. Rodri.
This has basically been the story of the game. Manchester City with all of the possession, and I just can't nick it off them. But then they haven't really done anything in the final third. I mean, until now, probably. Jack Grealish finds Foden. And De Ligt has nicked it. Can we go up the other end? There isn't enough time. It was a dreadful Manchester derby. But we will take the point. 0-0. And in the final game of this episode, we are playing Everton. It should be an easy 3 points. I'm going to start Garnacho on the left-hand side. And I'm going to start Xerxes ahead of Højlund. It's a bold call. But Højlund hasn't started that well this season again. Well, not again. He's carried on from last season. The end of last season, where the goals just dried up for him. And it seems to have continued at the start of this season, which isn't good news. So Garnacho and Xerxes are going to get the start. Well, Xerxes is going to get the start up top with Garnacho on that left-hand side. I'll keep Kubo on the right-hand side. With Adeyemi coming off the bench. I might start Ferguson instead of Mainu as well. No, Mainu is going to start ahead of Ferguson. Ferguson can remain on the bench. So that's going to be our starting lineup. Let's go into this final game against Everton.
The season well, haven't they? 4 points is probably what they would have expected from the first 2 games. They've showed some real quality too. It's just whether they can build on that over the next 90 minutes.
And this could be.
Oh, I was hoping that might have just snuck in somewhere. I went for power when I probably should have gone for placement.
This is how Everton line up.
It's not been a great first half once again. Oh no, it's Beto. Gone for the shot. Put the ball in the back of the net. He must have been offside for the referee to blow the whistle there. But Beto getting the ball in the back of the net against us once again. But luckily, it didn't count. It's not been a great first half. I hope we are going to be better in the second half and get some goals, because we're going to need these 3 points. But we go in at half-time level, 0-0.
Smith Rowe. Well, the transfer everybody's been talking about has now been confirmed, so the will they or won't they discussions can now end. Can he finish?
There it is! Xerxes with the goal to put us in the lead. Let's go. Finally, a goal. And it's that man Xerxes, the man that's come in for Højlund.
Well, this is a neat and tidy finish.
Garnacho with the assist. I changed the tactics a little bit so that Kubo and Garnacho are both coming in as an inside forward on off them wings. As I just had Garnacho before, I had Kubo out wide, but I have changed that. So hopefully Kubo will get involved in the game a bit more. But we are beating Everton finally 1-0. He's passed me the ball. We'll try and get this through to Kubo. Press in, but they've managed to play out so well there. The mistake at the back for Everton, they're a bit shaky.
The Premier League continues here on EA TV as United face Nottingham Forest. Really hope you can be with us for that. Real opportunity.
Kubo with the goal. Definitely changing his tactic to an inside forward is working wonders for him. He's got his first goal for Manchester United in the Premier League with his weak foot. And it's come against Everton. We've doubled our lead. We're beating them 2-0.
Fernandez.
Hoyland. He's managed to stay on side. He's gone for goal and Hoyland's got his first goal of the season. To make it 3. He could have squared it across goal for Adeyemi to get his first goal for Manchester United. But he chose. He needed his own glory. He needs to get back to goal-scoring form and went for goal himself. And I'm glad he did, because he's just put us 3-0 ahead in this game. Yotto's sprinting forward now. Space here for Garnacho to put it into Adeyemi for his first goal for Manchester United. Let's go. Our new signings have been great so far. Or 3 of them. We haven't played De Gea yet, but I imagine he still will be world class in between the sticks. But Adeyemi played well when he's came on. Guy has played fantastic. You guys probably wouldn't have seen a lot of it because it's a lot of work off camera for him. But Guy's been fantastic at the back for us. And Kubo, again, playing really well. I'm so glad we signed them. And it'd be even better if we can get Hoyland back scoring. As Adeyemi's making a good run, we'll do a little ball over the top. And even though he's got pace, he still wasn't quite quick enough. As the game ends against Everton, 4-0. And just like that, deadline day is over and Real Madrid came in for none of my players. Which is very, very odd considering I have got very highly rated players in my team. In Hoyland, Garnacho, I honestly thought in this save Real Madrid would have came in. But they haven't. So that rule was pretty pointless. But this is going to be the end of this episode. Let's have a quick look at the league table where we are sat joint top with 5 other teams. Ourselves, 4 other teams, sorry. 5 teams at the top. Ourselves, Manchester City, Brentford, Aston Villa and Liverpool all on 7 points and still unbeaten after the first 3 games. Can we stay at the top of the league? I hope so. As this is my final season at Manchester United, I would love to win the Premier League and hopefully the Champions League. We've already won the FA Cup, but again, I'd like to go far in the FA Cup as well as the Carabao Cup. But we started off this episode with a Community Shield win against Liverpool as we beat them 1-0 with Xerxes getting the goal. We then went and simmed the game against Southampton and beat them 4-1. We got a boring draw against Manchester City, unfortunately, as the game ended 0-0. And then our new signings started performing in that game against Everton. With Adeyemi and Kubo getting debut goals, getting their first goals for Manchester United as we've beaten Everton 4-0. In the next episode, we will split the month into two. I'm going to play Forest. I'm going to play Wolfsburg in the Champions League. And then I'm going to end the episode by playing Aston Villa. And then the episode after that, we'll play Ipswich in the Carabao Cup, where De Gea will get his second debut for Manchester United. Play Newcastle and then end the episode by playing Lyon. Let's see who else will play in the Champions League. Bayern Munich will be playing in the Champions League. Shakhtar Donetsk, can't even say it. Marseille as well in the Champions League. Galatasaray. Leverkusen. Who's that? Athens. And that's it in the Champions League. So De Gea will get some games in the Champions League. He'll probably play the Athens game. He will probably play against Shakhtar. And I might start him in that Wolfsburg game as well. But we'll see how we get on. The next episode, Forest, Wolfsburg, Aston Villa. If you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to hit that like button. If you are new around here, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you all in the next episode.